A second. I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public guest input? Anybody got any, you got anything for us?
John Hollenbeck, track operator for Columbus Park and Recs. I brought you the economic paperwork for us for this year. The economic impact, what we've done. So this is just for a state race and the locals that we've done. And then that's just showing you how we can get bigger, doing nationals and everything else. And that's why we petitioned for the Pines. And then Rich just talked to me that he has to submit that to
The city.
the city planning.
Who put this report together?
USA BMX.
That's great.
So,
Compact, very compact.
so what they do is geo-fence our location. And then it tells you, basically, it tracks your phone and tells you basically from down to how much money the people make that come to our events, where they go, and how much they spend in Columbus.
Those are assumptions though, right?
I don't know.
They're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting the validity, I'm just.
And then it says it has a variance. So I wanted to present this to you, and this is what I get every year now, because USA BMX wants us to grow. So you'll basically bring nationals, gold cups, state races, and so on. So this is,
Excellent.
but other than that, yeah, so I want to grow. He's waiting for the okay from the city or whatever we have to do, and then we'll go from there. So.
Great. We'll make sure we share this information with the visitor center also. So that-
Absolutely, please.
Okay. Thank you, John. Anything from Heflin? Bobby?
We've got everything pretty much fixed up there here lately.
Okay.
And we're trying to keep everything up and going.
Okay. And remind us when we close? Or we're closed now? Are we closed now?
November the 2nd.
November 2nd. Okay.
That's another thing. We need to get it out better than that we're still open.
Okay. We'll
I
remind
don't know
you.
what else we can do. I mean, we got it on Facebook, but we gotta get it out better.
It's
Okay.
getting ready to go on our, webpage as well.
Okay. Adam, Dunn Stadium.
Mother Nature has decided to cooperate with us for a month.
Yeah.
September 2024 concession sales were 13,475. September this year was 25,729. So we had a 91% increase for the month. That is our highest selling September in 14 years. It's our highest one we've ever had. Tropical snow was also up 59%. Our total sales for the month were 29,390.
Wow.
What do you attribute the increase from?
No rain.
Well, I mean, is it just because we filled every slot? I mean,
We lost one day, right? We lost a Sunday, that's it. We didn't lose anything other than that.
what do we typically will lose? I know this year's been kind of really
And
bad.
also, on top of that, we filled a couple September dates that used to be slow and with bigger events. And so the lack of rain, plus filling a couple of holes. But we're up 86% over last year, year to date. Kind of cut into that deficit a little bit. Just the grand totals were at 107,000 for the year, where we was running like a 30% deficit earlier this year. We're only down about 13% now.
That's a big month.
What, 20 or
That's
something?
food service only.
That's concessions and tropical snow both. So that's everything
Food
together.
service.
Yeah, that's ours. Yeah.
And a month ago, we were in the 20 or 30% rate.
Yeah, well, we made up, how much did we make up in that 1 month? We made up 13,000 in 1 month. So, I mean, that was a big month for us.
Yeah.
So now we want to, now that we've got those dates filled the way that they are, we want to keep those events for next year as well.
We want to keep the weather too.
Absolutely, we'll take the weather.
Promise on the weather.
Rain on Wednesday. The only other thing I got, and BMX folks, saw this last weekend, we ran into some parking issues. Some of our softball crowd were overflowing into their area. So I talked to Rich, we're gonna make new signage, in front of their area. Direct people not to park back there. If you're here for softball, it's BMX only. And then, like to find a way if we can, we have our new crosswalk signs up out there on Spear Street. I'd like to add another sign to the bottom of that, directing people to the overflow parking at the fairgrounds. So we're wanting to just get a couple.
How's that working out with the fairgrounds?
Once people understand that they can use it, it'll work fine. All the softball people, once we found out what was going on, they let us know what was going on. We had the officials on each field tell all the fans, hey, if you're parked here, you need to move. And they moved, no problem. They weren't aware that we were using that. That kind of like, the word really hasn't got out there yet. But we need to get it out there because when this come up on that Saturday, they were busy as can be. We had a big tournament going on. The west parking lot was completely full and there wasn't a single pickleball player there. So, I mean, we didn't even have a pickleball crowd to go with that. So I want to get those signs up so we get the softball crowd directed to the fairgrounds as well as the parking lot.
Right.
And not go past the bathroom.
Right.
What's the possibility of the acquisition of ground on the west side of, over there? on the west
Zero.
side?
Zero.
We tried that and
It's a national security issue. It's a wastewater treatment location and the federal government prohibits any other use than what it's being used for now.
You said the word. I don't remember.
Okay, moving on. Rich, you want to take us from here?
Yep. The first thing I'd like to bring up is, we've got, permission from the commissioners to start on the overlay of the parking lot at Dunn Stadium. We have to put it on record that we're gonna take some of that money from non-reverting over. So the amount would be $45,360. We have to put that on.
Has that already been approved?
It's been approved for the case to do the project, and they approved it as long as we weren't asking for any money.
It'll go through county council on the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to represent.
But I wanted it in our minutes.
Yep. Okay, what else?
You gonna, okay. I got a call from the visitor center asking why Dunn Stadium was up 50% in visits for September, and I told her pickleball, pickleball, pickleball. We did have some extra from the softball tournaments too, but it's just.
Who was it that called you?
Pardon me?
Who was it that called you?
The visitor center?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, from the visitor center, my bad.
Hey, Todd.
How do they know?
Yeah, how do they know that?
The same way they know here, they track everybody's phones.
Tell me
So
that.
they geofence it.
Is it geofencing? Yeah.
Well, there are marketing companies that provide that service.
Right, well, they actually have the technology, they're doing it on their own
Oh,
now.
really? Okay.
Nice.
Scary.
That too.
I know. The other thing I'd like to talk about is I'd like to set a date in the next couple of weeks for the dedication of the shelter house at, Newton Park.
Okay. So just,
I'd say a 6 o'clock, you wanna do it like a 6 o'clock, so everybody not fine with work, 5 o'clock, I'm good with whatever, but.
We could do it maybe, I don't know how soon. Could do it right after this meeting. One day or 1 month, but that's putting it off a month, I guess.
Chuck, I'm gonna sneak out. I got to take that young lady up to Franklin College for practice.
you got it, no problem.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Good work out your last month.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. We're gonna keep it going.
I'll send an email out to the group.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for all your work. You're welcome, sir. Truck status, we've collected only 2 of the 3 bids for the truck, but, we're just gonna go ahead and submit the 2 because we can't get what we want. And, we'll have that voted on in route. The pole barn, had to have 2 contractors for the concrete redo their bids because they were too old. They should have that to me by the end of the next week. Austin's gonna be calling in here in about 15 to 20 minutes for an update on our 5-year plan.
Yep.
As soon as he could do it. Anderson Falls, we did a deep clean up there Wednesday, picked up the trails.
Oh,
and everything, and I have a contractor that's doing it for a quarter of the price, fix the bathroom. Well, he's worth waiting on to have it done for a quarter of the price of the bid I had. Azalea's starting to turn the corner, starting to look good down there. We had
I'm glad you guys did.
Dennis White, is a neighbor, and he's taking onus on the park, and he's helping us out a little bit there, taking some of the brush that falls daily and stuff like that, so that's helped a lot. I'm gonna take him out to lunch.
Look over there.
So we got a
I just saw.
stone for Clifford and for,
John.
Newton Park for the plaques.
Thank you.
We haven't
Appreciate you.
mounted the plaques on the rocks yet, because I want to pull the saddle a little bit, so we can do that next week. We got all the hardware and everything, so we're good to go there. So the swell system at the pickleball court, Dennis asked about that. DLZ finally got the approval to have a meeting with the city.
Okay.
To discuss that. So as soon as that's done, we're gonna, go ahead with that. And I talked to Charlie, that was an update today from Charlie. We haven't started even looking into the upgrades of the irrigation system. I think that we're gonna try to handle it in-house as much as possible.
What was
The
that?
irrigation, he wanted to know what the irrigation, we're gonna start looking into that. I think that we're gonna try to, in November, maybe do some of that work. Maybe upgrade one field, at least from the infields to the last head on the sides.
If we went to turf, we would not need the irrigation system, is that right?
No, we will. Cause if we do turf, it will only be half, it'd be just the infields, so we'd still need irrigation for the outfields.
So we need half of the irrigation system.
Correct. And I'm looking into, I'm gonna try to mapped out, cause we're not sure exactly where everything is.
Where I'm getting at, I think it might be beneficial to get a quote to get it all replaced, or at least to redo the outfields or the infields, whichever would be negated by the turf, so that we can compare that with the turf costs.
Well, and along with that, our irrigation runs in the infields. I don't want irrigation under a turf field. If it breaks,
We have to tear it up,
you have to tear, we're talking big things, so
big money.
we're looking into that too. When I have my clean out done, our tech, we'll sit down and talk to Jeff about it. He's great, and, see what we can do. So
It may come down to, there's main lines that we may have to move for the irrigation. Cause if we're thinking where they're at.
No, I understand, and I understand us wanting to handle it in-house. What I'm getting at is if we have a cost to repair or replace what needs to be replaced, which we're basically saying the whole system, we could look at that cost and compare that and use that as a justification for the turf. Now, if the turf's only gonna eliminate half of that cost, and that may be the case, but getting a quote to see what that would be to have it professionally done would not be a bad idea.
Yep, I agree. I met with a turf company last week. They're working a quote up, so we have a starting point.
Okay.
I really like that guy.
Yeah,
He was on it.
he was straightforward about everything.
Took out all the fencing out at Elizabethtown, starting to clean up there. The mulch at Grammar has been spread out. That's a lot of work. Heflin has a closed park event this weekend. It's a charitable motorcycle group. They do charities for stuff. Been doing it for years up there. Bobby's meeting with them later tonight or tomorrow to discuss rules. The well water line and the wiring has been buried at Heflin. We also had another leak in the system last week too. It's never ending, but it's been repaired.
Some of those lines are 50 years old.
Yes, sir. It's,
Same way with our irrigation is probably 30 years old.
yeah, so it's,
Yeah.
Your picnic tables, they've been purchased and we got one put together. And, I really do like those tables. I think I really hit the nose on that one. They're really nice. They're round,
Okay.
but we can anchor them to the ground.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Rich, I want to come back to Heflin and also Anderson Falls. I want quotes on bathrooms for both, for the budget process next year.
Okay. You're talking new bathrooms, right?
Yes.
What's the latest on the sewage for Heflin?
Council and commissioners are working together to acquire the money.
Okay, now, another question, Heflin Park. Once we get the new system, the septic system there, can we expand Heflin Park to the infield there?
We can do anything we want us to do.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
I would,
At that time would be the time to do it.
so we cannot do expansion now, but we can look at expansion going forward once that project's done.
That's what I'm thinking, yes.
Yes.
Now, down there by the boat ramp, down by the pond,
Okay,
that vacancy in there, is that used for parking only?
for now, yes, yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Me and Bobby have talked about it before, putting on the other side of that dam, maybe putting 4 or 5 slots in there for camping. I think people will like it because they can still see the river.
the same way with the vacant field down there. They could be utilized. I know it's not on the water, but they can see the river. And that's where our revenue's coming from. So we need more room for that.
Yep. We talked about Newton Park,
Back to Heflin, where are we with this wood issue?
Jim's got, it's in Jim's corner.
Okay,
I got a copy of the email I sent him.
okay.
What is it?
We're still
What
trying
are you
to,
doing with it?
we're trying to determine what we may or may not owe for the wood that was cut and sold, and
How much wood is left there?
it's a lot.
Pardon?
It's a lot.
I was up there yesterday, and I just not could comprehend how much of that wood.
It's a lot.
It's quite a bit.
So just keep us posted on that, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will send an email out with his response. So everybody can see it. Unhealthy is still good. We're gonna mount the plaque and get those picnic tables up there this upcoming week. Owens Bend, we did a pretty good clean up there yesterday. There was trash everywhere and we mowed it and cleaned up some stuff.
Well, that's a pit down there, but you keep after it. It's just a pit.
It collects
try.
stuff.
We try. It's,
Yeah, I know. It's just it.
had a guy go down there, I thought it was Jesus walking down there, walked down there, no shoes on, hair down to here, big old bushy beard, and he went down to the boat ramp, took a bath, come back up, got his bicycle, he's riding his bicycle to Tennessee. He didn't even have shoes with him.
Okay, let's move it on.
Petersville, we went up there to mow yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you what, there was nothing but a mess up there. I mean, there was trash everywhere. 4 trash bags full
At Petersville?
at Petersville. And most of it was in the concession area, like somebody had a birthday party and then clean up their mess.
The
So,
next best thing to do if they keep that up is shut it up. Okay.
Rock Creek, no issues there. Wayne, Columbus Christian Flag Football has been playing their games this year and they love it. They have little tournaments and everything down there, so that's what I've got. Anybody has any questions?
Board member input, Jim, do you have anything?
No.
Brian?
I do not.
And I asked Rich to get Austin to call in and give us an update on the plan. That's my big concern. I want to see where we are.
While we have just a minute, and
Yeah.
one thing I did miss was, the shirts. We finally got the logo done.
Okay,
It's very similar to what Dennis put forth. As close as they could get.
Okay.
And it looks good. We always get the board members a polo shirt, so colors.
Is the gentleman gonna call you in a little bit?
Yes,
Let's go in at 5, right?
6
yeah,
minutes.
he's in training till 5 o'clock.
I don't have a strong opinion.
Fair enough. I'll just pick something out.
We did talk about the staff though, having
Yes, bright.
bright colors, yeah.
You know, it's, tell me what he's actually gonna be doing for us, a 5-year plan. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And in that 5-year plan, is there grant issues in that?
It'll talk some about grants. That'll be
We've been
some.
talking about grants for 10 years.
Yep, and finally I've got trained on how to at least look for them.
Problem is with that, you don't have the time to
No.
do that.
But I do in the winter. That's why I haven't done anything with it, and once November, in middle of November hits, I have a little more time. I could start on it, and Cora's gonna help with that process as well.
I'll tell you what,
Cora will be a big help.
Oh, she taught the class.
we'll give you this winter, if you don't do nothing, we're gonna hire somebody.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Maybe
Maybe it's
not
off the
gonna
top
get
of my head.
Jim,
Hire
Jim,
somebody to do that,
when this,
the grant.
let me step in here on this. When we get the data, we then have the ability to, then we will present that data to DNR.
Okay.
DNR then will approve our master plan and it will be certified.
Okay.
When that happens, we are now qualified for DNR grants.
DNR grants.
Yes. So trails, parks, all of that,
Okay,
up to $500,000 in matching income.
Okay.
When we start talking about those kinds of dollars, that's when we hire a consultant that comes in and does this with us.
okay.
And they take a certain part of that overall number that we get. So that's the end game.
Okay.
That's
The
the big
reason, the
money.
reason I'm bringing this up, I found a lady, I belong to the Bartholomew County Conservation Council. I found a lady that's doing our grants for free, but she won't do any grants like this because it's too big. But she finds money out there, it's out there,
Mhm.
we just gotta get this plan and get it done.
Yeah.
And not just DNR, this is specifically, because that's Park and Rec, you cannot apply for a grant, period. Even if it's a recreational grant outside of DNR, unless you have a 5-year plan.
Okay,
They all look at, but we have to get certified that we're on the right path through DNR. I think that's what you're trying to
did we
say.
not have that certification at one time?
No.
Never.
Yes, we did.
I thought we did.
We did with the last.
You did it one time, I just know that we have to be certified to be able to apply for their.
That's why that's where we're able to get the grant for Hatfield for the bank restoration.
Okay.
Yes, that's right, we did, yes. May I go back to Newton? The boat ramp, the treaty that's leaning on a man's property. When can we get that off of the property?
Well, that's another one that fell. We got the one off.
The big one is the one that's leaning down. The big one is hanging over into his
The
property.
next time I get an excavator, we'll go up there and get it.
When's that gonna be the next time?
I can't tell you, I can't afford to rent one right now. We've had I had an earmark for that and some other things. We were gonna rent it for 2 days. I had to rent it for half one to fix the.
Is it leaning where it could damage somebody's property?
It's hanging in his field and he cannot mow or clean up in his field.
Okay, well,
And the reason I'm pursuing this, Jim Puckett, I think's his last name. He's an entrepreneur. He owns ground next to Heflin Park. 3 acres sits there that's indisposable. I've been trying to talk to him about that property for over a year. This tree might be a detriment to that conversation.
okay,
We'll get to it as soon as possible, I promise.
Okay.
And just, I need an excavator to get it down, that's how hung up it is.
I thought about cutting a tree and just falling over and dragging it with it.
It could and couldn't work.
Never know until you try.
I'll go up and assess it next
Okay.
week, early next
I
week.
can't, reluctantly, I can't do things anymore like I used to. I used to just do things, but I can't do that anymore.
Okay, how is Austin calling us?
Via phone.
Your phone? Okay. All right, well, we'll sit tight until Austin calls. That's the last thing on the agenda. You can bail.
Okay, can I make a comment about grants?
Mhm.
I do not know anything about the DNR grants, but other grants that you might find out there, some of them are recurring. So it may behoove us to find out what the cycle, because they open up and then they close. There's windows of time. So I understand you have capacity during the winter, but if some of those are opening up in the spring, the summer when we're busy, if you can see when they have opened up in the past, then you can mark them for maybe Cora to make those a priority in the busy time when you're probably not watching for them, so we don't miss that window.
Some grants are opening up this month.
Yeah, so they're not always on our schedule, sometimes they're,
You gotta go with them.
yeah. And there's sometimes very short windows to
I can do the
respond.
research and like say, Bridge for Anderson Falls, it's just as an example. That particular grant is open from here to here.
Right, right, so
So, but yeah, I can get that on a spreadsheet and that way we can
Yeah.
keep track.
it'll help you plan your,
Anderson
so,
Falls will probably DNR,
Oh, absolutely.
because that's state property back there.
Mhm.
then I'll look for minutes on the update, because I'm curious what he had to say. And I'm gonna share this income information with the concessions and this with the park, or with the county council for
Excellent,
the update.
good.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kim. Yep.
Perfect.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
weekend.
You too, appreciate it.
And the visitor center's formulating one for all our stuff.
Perfect,
And I'll get that to you too.
thank you all.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Rich, you said you were gonna make a sign for us.
GMX parking beyond this point.
No, the outer sign, cause I asked you for that sign.
Yeah, I gotta move some money, that's why I haven't done it
Well, if not, I mean, we can pay for it. I just wanted to make sure, I mean,
yet. Yeah, if you guys wanna get it, that's fine, I gotta move some money.
cause, yeah, that sign is terrible, and I was actually thinking about going banner instead of sign. So banner's cheap. And then that way, if it blows down the next year, I can get a new one.
Works for me.
And
You're talking
then,
about the one on the fence?
yeah, that one's
Yeah, me
terrible.
and Nate talked about just taking it down,
Yeah, why don't you do that?
cause it looks horrible.
Yeah, if you guys can take
I
it
wrote
down.
down no overflow parking, we'll get signs and put that below the crosswalks.
Well, and then
Do
I'm
we have
gonna,
to get permission to do that first?
Should not have to, because we already got permission for the big part of it. I call over the plant engineers and just better ask for forgiveness.
and then I'm gonna get those like I said, I have 2 cattle gates. I'm gonna get the hinges.
Okay, here's Austin. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna go to the middle of the room so people can hear you. That way you can, give us a little update on where we're at.
Absolutely. Is the audio okay? Brent?
You guys hear us okay?
As good as it can get.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right, good afternoon. Let's see, so for the, master plan, where we are right now is we just, finalized the survey instrument that's going to be the statistically valid survey that's going out to the county. That got finalized 2 weeks ago, so ETC Institute out of Olathe, Kansas is, preparing to mail that to residents. And so that'll be hitting the streets in the next couple weeks. Administration of that survey usually last about 3 to 4 weeks, then with the report to follow about 4 to 6 weeks after that. So we should have community data and survey data probably at the beginning of the next year. So in the next 2 months, we should have that survey report finalized. Then turning our attention to external stakeholder engagement. And so been contacting county council members, county commissioner members, the county highway department, Columbus Parks and Recreation, Visit Columbus, the school corporation, and Saraland. And I actually have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 interviews set up for next week. One county council member, highway department, Nikki from the Columbus Parks and Rec, the school corporation, and then also, what's the other one I had there? Linda Glick, who's done a lot of work in the county as well. So moving attention to external stakeholder engagement, and then I will set up focus groups to follow that. We've identified different groups by topics to engage, and so a couple of them being economics and finances. So that's, think about like the Redevelopment Commission, Chamber of Commerce, auditor, things like that. Nature-based organizations, so think about Sycamore Land Trust, Soil and Water Conservation District, and all that fun stuff. Civic organizations, so think about Millbrae Center, United Way, Advocates for Children, and then outdoor recreation, so like Blues Canoes, agencies and entities that deal with that particular interest. And then lastly, athletics, which we've already spoke to earlier on in the process, but think about your BMX or pickleball, slow pitch league, etc. And the draft report for the master plan is due November 15th. Now, whenever we hear that, I know sometimes that you might think, an entire report is due a month from now. Well, the first draft guidelines from the DNR are very prescriptive. And so the first draft guidelines are basically what's the planning area, what are the goals of the master plan, what is the system inventory, what are the demographics and trends being experienced within the county. And it's all the information that kind of frames the planning process. So it's having one stakeholder or public engagement technique either finished or underway. And so the first draft guidelines are really just matter-of-fact information. And so then really the bulk of the actual master planning work occurs between the submission of that first draft and then when the final draft is actually due April 15th, 2026. And those dates are outlined based on being approved or eligible, I should say, for applying for a land and water conservation funding grant through the DNR. And so the bulk of what I would consider more interesting work on the master plan occurs between the November 15th deadline and the April 15th deadline. That's where more public engagement occurs. That's where we look at benchmarking and operations and finance kind of analyses. That's when we start looking at stakeholder engagement, public engagement activities and synthesis. We'll get the survey back. That's where we start giving a little bit more of the so what and putting that into actual action steps and moving forward. One thing that should be noted, and maybe you've all been aware of this or maybe not, the DNR actually withheld LWCF funding from local municipalities for 2025, and I think they might actually be doing it for 2026 as well. They actually decided to keep the monies in-house and not actually provide grant opportunities to local municipalities. So that was a change that was recent, was the DNR was actually keeping the state allocation funding from the federal government actually for DNR related properties. So that's just a little bit of an update, but still want to move on that exact timeline that they prescribe in case things change because things do change all the time. So that in a nutshell is the update. Right now, doing engagement activities, survey hitting the streets probably in the next 2 weeks. And then the first draft of the plan, again, due in about 6 weeks, is think of it not necessarily as a draft. Think of it as the matter-of-fact statements of fact when it comes to what's the planning area, what are our goals, what's the system inventory, and what is it that we're trying to do and accomplish, with the bulk of the work coming between November 15th and April 15th being the synthesis, more public engagement, more desk work, more analyses, comparisons, and all that fun stuff to actually flesh out for the second draft the so what kind of part of the master plan and where are we going.
So Austin, this is Chuck Wells. Do we have your assurance then that what you will have completed by that November date will be satisfactory in the eyes of the DNR?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. That was my only main concern.
Yep, absolutely. And it's a fair question. It is very interesting when you look at again, we're such a prescriptive state when it comes to the 5-year Parks and Recreation master plans that the draft or the initial, just call it the first submission, is really more of like the skeleton outline of the plan. It's not really even talking about the plan itself, if that makes sense. It's really more just the foundational context and information of the planning community with then the actual, what I would call meat and potatoes of the actual planning process completed between that first and second submission.
Okay. Next question, Austin, can you please forward to me the civic groups that you intend to engage with so that I can review them and make suggestions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same with the external stakeholder groups also, like you mentioned, Blues Canoes. There are some other external stakeholder groups that I'm familiar with that we may want to include.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I can forward that to you too.
that's it for me. Anybody have any questions for Austin?
None.
No, it sounds good.
Austin, thank you for the update. I feel a lot better about this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. And hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday and heading into the weekend. It's the fall weather kind of comes upon us now.
All right. Thank you.
Austin.
Thanks, Austin.
Yep.
Talk to you later, bud.
Thank you. Bye.
Very nice to hear.
I feel a lot better.
We're moving forward.
Well, we've been kind of holding.
Okay. Is there anything else for the good of the cause?
We need to put that money in the minutes.
What money in the minutes?
What we're transferring.
The money you brought up earlier.
Yeah, but you guys didn't vote on it.
Oh,
Oh,
wait a minute.
Please repeat.
Okay, repeat the amount.
$45,360 from non-reverting.
360. Okay. Is there a motion?
I must so move.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
I,
Motion carries. Money is transferable.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other things for the good of the cause? No. Okay, meeting is adjourned. For the record, it is 5:12.